Straight Black Pride.
Straight Black Pride.
It's a Straight Black Pride.
Straight Black Pride.
All right, thank you all for coming out. This means so much to me. Being able to see you all and see her again, it's a great experience. So the topic that we were given is the responsibility of black youth towards liberation. So I'm gonna be going first, and then my great competition here will be going afterwards. So most of what I'm about to say is mostly general, so it can apply to everybody. But there's one thing I'm gonna say at the end that I want specifically applies to our youth. So our people have to learn to grow and empower. We have to grow ourselves in order to empower our people. Some ways we grow ourselves as an individual is disciplining oneself, teaching oneself, seeking counsel and knowledge from our elders and from the wisdom that we've been given and all the resources we have. Learning self-defense, learning to protect ourselves physically and mentally. Learning different things in that aspect.
Take your time, black man.
We have to grow each other by being accountable to each other, making sure we're not falling behind with, education or different problems that we may have been struggling with through our lives. And we have to teach each other. And I think something that we all should have, especially as our youth, should have a student that we kind of groom to be in our place. That every single person should have that. But I look specifically towards our youth, so I want to make sure that we do that too. But the number one thing I think the youth has to be in charge of is energizing our movement. For every little song that comes out or some random rapper that can't actually rap, and every clothing company, it's always because of how much we share it on the internet, how much we do it in public, how much we praise it. And that's exactly what we have to do with Straight Black Pride. Like we saw the Straight Black Gardening. We can set up pages talking about what we do in the Straight Black Garden. We have our dashikis. We can wear these like on school dress down days if they allow it. That's what I've been doing since I went to a public school, so it's a bit more lenient. But as much as we can do things like that. Talking about RBG shoes. I see the brother, someone's wearing it. Where are they? There they go. Yeah, I like them. Different things like that. We do it and then praise it. And that constantly gives the energy and fuel it. People will see Straight Black Pride as a youth-friendly place. It's a great look. And other youth that are maybe not all the way there can see that it's something cool. That we're not like strict in everything. That we do have to be strict about protecting ourselves. But overall, we're a family. We're chill. We're cool. We love each other. And that's the kind of environment that we have to provide. And I think that's something the youth can do the best. With how much energy we provide to everything else the world tries to give us, we can control that and channel it towards Straight Black Pride.
Greetings, my brothers and sisters. My name is Abby J. When I started Straight Black Pride, when I started Straight Black Pride, I was 15, and I'm 17 now. I'm going to be a senior in high school, and I was voted the most cultured in my school.
That's right.
I grew up as a Rastafarian. My parents grew me up in a very African household. Everywhere I turned, there was pictures of Marcus Garvey, His Imperial Majesty, Peter Tosh, Malcolm X. My mom loves Malcolm X. She says that's her favorite ancestor. So I was raised in that environment, and I know what it's like to feel oppressed, because when I grew up in Jamaica, so when I went to my private school in Jamaica, I was the first Rastafarian to walk in the halls of that school, of an all-Christian school. And I was bullied because of it. And because I was bullied, it actually made me realize that not everybody's going to like you for who you are. And over time, when I was assigned, because I didn't even know that Irritated Vinny had liked me, I had asked this really silly question. And my mom told me the following day, oh, Irritated Vinny wants you to be a youth representative. So I'm really grateful to him for that, because I didn't know that I had that capability.
Got it.
And I'm actually kind of shy, so if you see me not looking directly at your faces, I apologize. The responsibility of black youth, if you think about it, it's a very broad topic, and I could go on and on and on about what children should and shouldn't do. But at the end of the day, it's what the children deem is correct. Because going to school, there's a lot of, some of my friends, they say that we should stay woke. I don't know if any of y'all heard that, but yeah, we say we have to stay woke. Childish Gambino. So, in a sense, they think that they are so-called woke, but yet still they believe that everybody should be given the same chances. That includes homosexuals, and that's where I disagree. Their definition of woke and my definition of woke is two completely definitions of woke. And I cannot openly state it like that because, you know, I would get a lot of backlash. But I say it subtly. I say it in the sense where, like, I grew up in Jamaica, so of course I see it, you know. And when I was 13, there was this all-boys school, and they had caught these two boys in the bathroom, and I'm not even going to lie to you. Them take the car, and then drive them over, then back them heading with a block. So I know exactly how Jamaicans deal with homosexuals. They're actually quite lenient with lesbians, but they despise gay people, right? They despise male-on-male interaction. They really hate that. But they're lenient with the lesbians. When Irritated Genie was talking, he mentioned sexual abuse among children. I strongly disagree with, no, let me put that another way, I'm sorry. I mean, I agree with what he's saying, but I disagree with pedophiles. That's what I meant to say, right? And reason why, I don't like talking about it because it kind of makes me feel uncomfortable, but over time I realized that I have to stand up and say what I have to say. I was sexually abused for 14 months when I was 6 years old by my taxi driver who had children. He had all girls. And I never told my parents until I was 11 years old, and it was too late because we were living in Jamaica and Jamaican police can't really do nothing. And he's still, you know, alive and driving taxis, same way on thing. And it took me a while to like really build up because there's a lot of children right now who are suffering from depression and anxiety, especially black children, and they can't say anything because they grew up with this sense of fear. And it's not fear of their parents, but it's a fear of life. And I think the reason why we grew up with that fear is because all of our lives we have been told to not say much, or we shouldn't do much, or we should be afraid of the police, or we should do this, or we should do that. And we're grown up with restrictions. And because of those restrictions, we grew up fearing life. We grew up not living. A lot of people are existing, but we are not living. There's a huge difference. And even though I'm turning 18 in October, I'm a Libra, by the way. Even though I spent 18 years on this planet, I can tell that I have learned a lot because a lot of people cannot stand up on this stage and admit that they were hurt in such a way where it really, because I'm not even gonna lie, you would dead mess me up for a good amount of time. And I had blamed myself for a long time, and it wasn't until like 3 or 4 months ago I decided, you know what, I'm gonna forgive myself, I'm gonna forgive these people. And that is what black youth are supposed to do. You're supposed to forgive yourself. That is your responsibility, to forgive yourself, forgive the people for hurting you, because a lot of black people hold grudges. I'm not even gonna hold you, like y'all be holding mad grudges with people, and I don't understand why, right? And it's like, you don't have to hold grudges, because when you let certain things go, you're free, and you feel lighter, and everything is in place. We cannot change, well, no. We can change society, but not in the way we want it to. We have come a long way, but at the same time, something always keeps on pulling us back. Something never wants us to move forward. And it's up to those select few people, because Even if it's just one person can make that change. One person can do something for millions and billions of people. One person can say one word, and all of a sudden, the mentality of millions of others change instantly. It only takes one person. But if you're capable of saying that word, and if you're capable of being strong, and as my father would say, hold the faith, right? You can do things that are inconceivable and unimaginable to the human mind. And it's amazing to know that I'm here and I'm telling people who are 20, 30, 15 years older than me these things that you probably already know. But it's nice to know that you actually took the time out to listen to what I have to say. The responsibility for black children is to not be afraid. Don't be afraid to tell your parents, oh, you know, this happened to me, or I'm suffering from this, or I'm going through that. Don't be afraid to tell your parents that, oh, you know, I have done something great today. And don't be afraid to look out into the world, because every dream that you have ever dreamed of is possible. You just have to work towards that, and yet you can still dream. But we don't dream. We grew up in a society where all of our dreams were crushed from an early age. We grew up in a society where everywhere we turn, we see police officers looking directly at us in our faces, wondering if we have done something wrong. I was lucky to grow up in Jamaica where I didn't see that. Some of y'all weren't. And even in Jamaica, it's not like, they don't like Rastafarians in Jamaica. They don't like us. My father is actually a perfect example because he grew up there, he was born there, and he knows what it's like. I don't know it much because I grew up in a different generation, but from what I can tell you is that it's hard to be a girl who was born Rastafarian, because a lot of people convert. I was born this way. I was born a Rastafarian. I grew up in the teachings of Rastafari. And I can go up on any stage and announce that openly because it's true. And there is nothing wrong with being who you are, and that's what black children are afraid of. They're afraid to be who they are. They change themselves because of peer pressure and because of bullying. They change their entire existence, their entire demeanor. They change to please other people. And that's what people shouldn't do. That's what children shouldn't do. They shouldn't need to change to please somebody else. They shouldn't have to change to please their parents. They should change because they feel like it's the right thing to do. If you know that you're doing something incorrect or wrong, then change it. Not because somebody else told you, but because you believe deep down in yourself that that needs to change. So forth. I appreciate all of you for listening to me. And you all have a blessed day. Straight black pride.
Can we all say that was a strong sister, right? And you all say that we do love you for who you are. Right?
That's right.
You know, we said that we're all sorry for what happened to you, and then from now on, we will protect you.
That's right.
Y'all gotta do better than, come on, man. We can change this thing, man. Sitting over there fighting back tears. Man, now look, can we show you better than we can tell them? I mean, I'm a little messed up, and I'm not going to get, but I didn't know any of this. So of course, just like everybody else in the room, you didn't know it was coming. I was probably a little bit more not knowing it was coming because it's probably been something I thought I would have known by now. But the fact that we have a young queen, a princess, with the courage to come before all of these people and is going out to the world and saying, hey, that's what I went through. I blame myself, but I've gotten past that. And tell us that we can do it. If we can embody this kind of personality in our daughters. And then to have the son say, no, before you get the stage, come here. We messed up. We failed. We're not going to fail no more. We're going to protect y'all. That's going to be somebody's husband. This is somebody's wife. Black. This is going to be a family that's going to be straight, black, and proud, and going to give us future gentlemen. Let's give one more round of applause. This is our future. You can't get this everywhere. Is the spirit good up in here right now? Y'all feel good? Are you inspired? I want to say one thing on what she said because, and I got to honestly say, it's helping me even grow with this because that's serious for a young sister to come up knowing we don't know and tell us, to let us know that what we're doing means something. Because this forum is not open for everybody everywhere. We made it okay to say that this happens and we're going to stop it from happening because we care. I'm going to say a couple things. One, what I learned hearing that is we have to be fair to people who've gone through it. When she said we got to forgive ourselves, we all agreed. And I'll be honest, when she said we got to forgive the person who did it, my initial instinct was to have an answer, but I said, wait a minute. I can't tell a person how to heal themselves. So what I would say is this, and I think it was brilliant what she did, and I love the way the young man came up and said, look, I can't do nothing after that but say we got your back. So that's what we're building. But the person has to heal. And if forgiving the person that did it to them, if that helps them heal and release it, they have every right to do it. We don't have a right to tell them not to. As black men, our job is to make it stop. If the people need to heal and forgive them, that's what they do. Our job is not to be emotional about this. It's got to stop. Like, it's the last thing I'm going to say. We're going to move on. I'm going to bring my brother, Big Sally Rose. Where Big Brother Sally Rose? Where is he at? Now, you know where you at, man. How you going to look around and say where he at? But I'm going to say this because it hit me when she said it, and I feel like saying it. I really hate the fact that there are people that are trying to stop us from doing this, who's supposed to be on our side. I ain't going to lose no sleep over it, but man, we're trying to stop this. And then you got people that look like us, that say that they believe in the same stuff, then they want to fight us because we want to stop this. Like that, I ain't going to lie to you, man. You got black skin and you don't want black people to go out and stop people from molesting children. I just don't understand. But it ain't my place to understand you, but we got to deal with these people. So I'm going to say this. You know what I mean? It's hit me right now. We took a break back and a pause on going in with the